I finally got around to it. I finally watched the Demon Slayer movie. And first of all, I want to say it was a lot better than I expected. I'm gonna be honest. It was actually light years better than what I expected. I was never the biggest Demon Slayer fan. I was just it was a good show. Watch it every once in a while. But that kind of set my expectations for this film. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's kind of why I've left it for so long. That's kind of why I haven't watched it for so long because I just didn't. It just wasn't like my most anticipated show or movie. Um, which now after watching it, I'm a little bit, you know what I'm saying, slow in the head. Um, there's just a lot, man. It was fucking long. I mean, I guess that's the only complaint I could say. Except it's not really a complaint because I enjoyed the entire 2 hours and 35 minutes of it. So, um, there, it just I just can't believe what I just witnessed. Akaza, you just hate the motherfucker for most of your life. You know what I'm saying? Since Mugen Train, you just hate him. You hate every ounce of his being, and his soul and everything about the fucker. But even seeing him, I was like, yeah, we're finally gonna kill the motherfucker. Finally, we're gonna kill the motherfucker. When he first appeared, I was like, oh fuck, it's time to get this motherfucker down. And somehow they made this character that I absolutely despised with my entire being, my entire soul. They made me feel sympathy or empathy or whatever the word is. They made me feel something for a character I despised, um, which is just shocking. I'm gonna be honest; it was absolutely shocking. Of all the things in this world, of all the good and the bad, some things you think are unforgivable, but in this case, for some reason, after watching his backstory and seeing it all, you could just see that these are the sins of a broken man. Um, it kind of gives you perspective too. Sometimes, like people do things for a reason. You know, this guy went through hell, and even though it wasn't the right decision what he did, and it's never right what he did, you can honestly somewhat understand, which is crazy to say. Um, which is just absolutely diabolical. To be honest, I feel sick saying it too. That's the worst part. But even after killing Rengoku, this movie still made me somehow find sympathy for this type of character. I'm honestly just devastated at the emotions I'm feeling. The whirlwind inside my stomach. I'm having trouble looking at the camera because I just feel bad. It's like making eye contact with the world. Um, man, I didn't even know this. The whole movie was just pretty brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not one to go out of my way to glaze. I do wish I watched this in theater. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I watched this in theater. It would have been just magical with the animation, the fights. Back when it first dropped, I heard people complaining because after each fight there was like a little backstory thing or something that took you out of the fight. But I kind of enjoyed it. It kind of felt like when I'm listening on Spotify and an ad comes up. It's taking a break from the music. I need a break from the music. Maybe go take a washroom break. Maybe I just needed a break from the music and just to get back grounded in reality. I mean that's kind of a shit analogy, but in this case, you kind of get taken out of the fight into a backstory or into a moment or into a thinking. Tanjiro's out there thinking up a storm, going into flow state. He literally reached flow state. So I actually quite enjoyed that too. I mean, honestly, I have no complaints somehow for Demon Slayer, which again, I'm gonna be honest. Like season one, I liked it. I remember I watched it seasonal when it first came out, the weekly episodes and all that. And it was I mean it was like episode 19, the iconic episode that made me like, all right, this show's all right. Hold on now, we got something cooking here. I liked Mugen Train, you know. Season two, I mean, I read the manga for all of like the Hashira arc and that other small arc before all that shit. I basically read the manga up until Infinity Castle, and then I stopped. Uh, but I don't know. I just didn't expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did. It's just, I don't know. It had everything for me. To be honest, the fights were sensational. Um, some iconic characters died. Which I mean, honestly, that's a shock. One of the deaths that I witnessed in the very beginning too. It was like the first fight, um, which is just wow. That fucking demon was crazy. But Zenitsu had a great fight too. Um, but man, I don't know that. I don't know. Honestly, the end of the movie took everything away from me. I was enjoying the whole thing, and then the end of the movie just made me forget everything else. You know what I'm saying? The Akaza Upper Moon 3 drops into the scene, starts boxing, putting in real work damage. When Tanjiro finally figures out flow state takes him out, we're finally, oh, the gratitude, the satisfaction, the emotional disruption drops into our palms, and we have to take it like a good boy. You know what I'm saying? We have to take it. Because out of nowhere, like the fucking Undertaker, this guy drops his emotional background where we just have to sit there and just be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can we allow this? I'm lost for words. It was it was it was damn. I'm lost for words. It was sensational. It was really, and I'm gonna be day one of the next Infinity Castle movie. I'm gonna be in that theater. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be there. Um, yeah, honestly, that was an amazing movie. I really watched it so that I could hate. You know what I'm saying. Hating is the way of the life. You gotta watch the hate, but nah, there's just not a word I could say. This shit was fire. This was just peak. I don't know. It was just amazing. Um, I'm still just feeling a turmoil of emotions about this Akaza thing. Because he did take out. Set your heart ablaze. He took him out like it was nothing. He called him a bitch too. You know what I'm saying? And then just comes in here, tells us about the horrible history, and it just makes you feel something, empathy, sympathy for some reason about someone who just killed for like hundreds of years, or however many years. I don't fucking know, but he just, you know what I'm saying? It's just a crazy thought, and it makes you think, and you start choking up. You're sitting there, you're watching him finally accept it, finally remember his memories, and you're just thinking to yourself like, damn, shit. I don't know. I didn't even know it. Like, I wanted to just be screaming about the fact that we finally killed this motherfucker off. And then they sucked it out of me. The movie sucked it out of me because they're like, hold on now, hold on, Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch it. You gotta see why he did this. You gotta understand the repercussions and the actions that came with his desires. So yeah, fuck. But even he starts fucking trying to kill himself. He's punching himself out. Then he's having his emotional turmoil. Wait, I need to be the strongest. Wait, I need to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? And then finally at the end, you know, it's always the woman that touches your heart. You know what I'm saying? It was just the last straw, and he had to vanish. But it just makes your heart pump. You know what I'm saying? You just feel something. Shit, I've been talking too long, man. This ain't my usual length. It's too long. Fuck. Shit, I need to hold on. It was great knowing y'all. Um, Empathy, sympathy for someone I hate. And now I'm feeling, do I even hate him anymore? I don't know. I don't know. I'm emotionally distraught. Have a good one.